I want you to think about the last conversation you ever had where you truly felt heard. Not listened, heard. The other person leaned in, nodded, said, "That's exactly it." How did you feel? Now think about the last time you spoke and watched somebody glazed over, eyes all around, checking out mid-sentence, checking their mobile phones. How did you feel? Same brain, same person, but different results. Why? Because communication is not about what you say, it's about what other person receives. And today I will give you 9 tips on communication which will fundamentally change the way other people receives your words. These aren't theory, these are the lessons I have learned over 15 years on stage, thousands of conversations, and so many mistakes. So let's go for it. Before we start, let me clear the biggest illusion of communication. People think that good communicator means a big talker. Wrong. Being a good communicator means person whom others wants to listen to. There is a massive difference. I know people who can talk for 30 minutes, but we will forget after they leave. And I know people who will utter 3 sentences and we will remember them forever. The difference are these 9 things. I have grouped them into 3 parts: how you listen, how you speak, and how you connect. Think of it like a 3-legged stool. If one leg is missing, the whole thing falls over. I'm putting this first as deliberately. Listen like you are wrong. Most of us listen to respond. Most of us listen to say something. Most of us are rehearsing the words when we are listening to people. We are waiting. We are not listening. Here is the mindset shift that has changed everything for me. When I walk into a conversation, now I tell myself the other person knows something that I don't. And I need to learn from him. And that one thing has changed my entire body language. I lean in, I ask follow-up questions, and the most importantly, I stop interrupting. As the saying goes, we are given 2 ears and 1 mouth. Start using it in the same ratio. Tip number 2, I have already made a shot on that. Kill the filler. You know what I mean? I know, basically, actually, these little words seem harmless, but let me tell you, they are doing more damage than we realize. When you fill every pause with all these filler words, like basically, actually, it sends a message to the listener that we are not confident about what we are saying, we are nervous, we are panicked, and many other things. And the listener picks it up very subconsciously. They start trusting you less, not because the ideas are bad, but because they feel you are uncertain. So what's the fix? Replace the fillers with a 3-second pause. That pause right there, that felt powerful, didn't it? A pause says, I'm thinking, I'm choosing my words carefully, I'm sure about what I'm saying. It communicates confidence. Here is a practical exercise. Record yourself for 30 seconds and count your filler words. I did this 10 years back and I found 14 ums in that 30 seconds. I was horrified. But the most important thing is awareness is the key. If you know it, you can fix it. Tip number 3, the power of last sentence. Let me ask you a question. When you watch a movie, what do you remember the most? The ending. When you have a great meal, what do you remember? The last bite. Communication works in the same way. People remember the last sentence the most, far more than anything you have said in the middle. And this is called recency effect in the psychology, and you can use it to your advantage. Most people end the last sentence with some trail off. You consider it, whatever, maybe. This will kill the entire message. Instead, land your last sentence like a plane lands on a runway. Clear, firm, and intentional. Don't say, I think this project could work, I think. Don't say, I think this project could work out, I guess. Say, this project will work out, and here is why I'm confident. Same idea, but completely different impact. Practice this and always know your last sentence before you get into a conversation. So friends, how many of you are already practicing these things? If yes, drop it in the comments. And if you're new here, I'm Deepak Sharma. I'm a public speaking and communication coach. And I keep on sharing these tips and tricks on public speaking and communication. Do subscribe. So let's come to tip number 4. Speak in headlines, not in paragraph. This one will instantly make you sound clearer and more authoritative. Think about a newspaper. The headlines grabs you, then the article gives you the detail. But headlines has already done 90% of work. Your speaking should be in the same way. When someone asks you how's the project doing, don't give them a 2-minute speech. Give them the headlines first. The project is on track. We are ahead on schedule and design, and I need 1 more week for testing. That's it. 10 seconds, crystal clear. Now, if they want the paragraph, they will ask for it. But you have already won their respect by being concise and confident. Here's why this matters. Because, my friends, attention spans are shrinking. Attention is the currency as of today. In conversation, even on WhatsApp or messages, the person who gets to the point first are remembered. The person who rambles gets turned out. I have a rule I follow. If I can't say it in 2 sentences, I have not understood it as yet. Let's come to tip number 5. Vary your vocal speed. This is the most underrated communication skills and nobody talks about it. Think about a song that's one tempo the entire time. Same beat, same rhythm, and same energy. Boring, isn't it? That's what most people sound like when they speak. Now think about your favorite song. It has verses, it has choruses, it has high moments, it has low moments, builds up and drops. That's how you should speak. Here is the formula. Speed up when you're excited, listing things, or building momentum. We have 3 meetings, 4 deadlines, 2 presentations, and 1 team dinner all in 1 week. Slow down when you're making your most important point. But the one thing that made all of that worth it. See how slowness makes you lean in. The contrast is what keeps people listening. It's not about being fast and slow. It's about being varied. That's the secret of being engaging instead of being monotonous. Tip number 6, use specific numbers, not vague words. This tip sounds small, but it's very important about your credibility. It makes a massive difference on how believable and compelling you sound. Compare these 2 sentences. I've been speaking for many years. Or, I've been speaking for last 15 years across 8 countries to over more than 10,000 people. Same person, same experience, but the second version sounds 10 times more credible. Why? Because specificity is the language of authority. Specificity builds credibility. When you use exact numbers, your brain signals to the listener, this guy is not guessing. He knows. So instead of saying a lot of people struggling with it, say 73% of people feel anxiety when they are speaking in a meeting. Instead of saying I read it somewhere, say I read it in a study published by Harvard in 2023. Vague words make you sound like everyone else, but specific numbers make you sound like an expert. And here's the best part, you don't have to be a most knowledgeable person in the room. Only you need to be more precise in your communication. Tip number 7. Ask, don't tell. Now we have moved into the third leg of the stool, connection. Actually, the best communicators are the ones who have best questions. Think about the most interesting person you have ever met in a party. They are not the one who has always been talking about themselves, but they are the one who have asked you many questions, who have cared about you. There is a beautiful study at Harvard that has found out that people who ask more questions during conversations are significantly more likable, even by strangers, because they were curious. So here is the practical tip. In your next conversation, use this 2:1 rule. Every one thing you share about yourself, you ask 2 questions about others in your conversation. And not just any other question. Just skip the questions like how are you, where are you from? Some specific interesting questions. Like, what's been your highlight of the week? What are you more excited about right now? What's something you have changed your mind about recently? These kind of questions help people open up to you. And once people have opened up to you, they will never forget you. Tip number 8. Name the emotion. This is probably the most important connection tool I have ever learned. Here is the scenario. Your colleague comes to you and says, he just had the worst meeting of his life. The client hated everything. Now, most people get into advice mode. They start giving advice. Oh, you should have done this, or you can do this now, or you should follow up with this. Don't do that. At that moment, these kind of responses feels terrible to receive. You know what feels amazing when someone says, that sounds really frustrating. That's it. 4 words. You didn't fix anything. You didn't give any advice. You just named the emotion. And in that moment, the other person feels seen. Psychologists call this emotional labeling. When you name someone's emotion correctly, their stress level tends to decrease. The brain goes, oh, someone understands me. And once someone feels understood, they trust you. They open up. The conversation deepens. This works in meeting with your kids, with your spouse, with your friends, with your colleagues. Try it. Before you rush to solve, pause and name. That sounds exciting. That must be disappointing. I can see why you are proud of that. You will be amazed to see what happens next. And finally, tip number 9, be a thermostat, not a thermometer. This is my favorite. Be the thermostat, not a thermometer. What's the difference? A thermometer reacts to the temperature. When the temperature is up, it goes up. When temperature comes down, it comes down. It has no control. A thermostat sets the temperature of the room. It decides what the room should feel like. Most people in conversation are like thermometers. When the energy is high, they go high. When energy is low, they go low. When somebody is angry, they also get angry. When somebody is sad, they also go sad. They match whatever is happening around them. Great communicators are thermostats. They walk into the meeting and bring calm. They walk into a dead room and bring energy. They don't react to emotional temperature, they set it. I'll give you a personal example. I walked into a meeting, I saw 2 of my colleagues arguing on a deadline. Instead of joining that argument, I smiled and I said, I think we all want the same outcomes. Let's take 30 seconds and write down what success looks like for this project. The room shifted instantly, not because I had the best idea, because I changed the temperature. This is the ultimate communication skill. When you can regulate the emotional temperature in the room, you are the person everybody will turn to. Everybody will trust you and everyone will remember you. Let's bring all the 9 together. Number 1, how you listen. Listen like you are wrong. Assume other person knows something you don't. Number 2, kill the filler. Replace with pause or silence. Number 3, power of the last sentence. Land it like a plane. Number 4, speak in headlines. Get to the point first. Number 5, vary your vocal cords. Contrast brings in interest. Number 6, use specific numbers. Specificity builds authority. Number 7, ask, don't tell. Curiosity is a magnet. Number 8, name the emotion. Make people feel seen. And number 9, be a thermostat. Set the temperature, don't react to it. Remember, communication is not a talent you are born with. It's a skill you can build upon. And every conversation is a chance to practice. So my friends, don't get ready, be ready. If this video changed the way you think about communication, share it with at least one person. Because people are struggling in this world only because of communication. You will be doing a favor to them. See you in next video.